Hello everyone, I'm Charlie and this is Charlie's Reviews. So today is September 15th. So from time to time you might actually hear some fireworks going off because today, like I said, it's sort of like pre-Independence Day. Tonight there will be a ceremony, the traditional ceremony that goes on, in Zocalo here in Mexico City plus other little plazas in various cities and towns of the reenactment of the calling for independence that was done in 1810 by the priest Miguel Hidalgo and started the whole Mexican independence. So some people have been all month long uh, throwing fireworks at all hours of the day and night. So there might be an occasional pop of the fireworks. So today, in fact, people do go to work either full time, full day, or just half a day, and tomorrow is the official day off. So, anyways, let's get on with the reviews. So this week was a surprisingly light week. I expected to get more books. As many of you know, last month my shop had a problem with their shipping company. The books for the first couple of weeks of August were delayed. They actually had a major problem with the first week. I went to the shop on Friday. They told me they were coming in on Saturday. I decided not to go on Saturday because, as you may notice, it's a kind of dark here because we've been having some horrible weather. I think there's like a hurricane in the Pacific coast, so Mexico being a really slim country, if you will, territory-wise, we're getting affected by the rain. Saturday was horrible, little rain. Yesterday, Sunday, we had a lot of rain. Uh, Today's been sort of so-so. The morning was fine. Now it's sort of cloudy, sunny. Um, so anyway, so I didn't get those books. I got my regular books. I'll be picking up those delayed books with this week's uh, books, which I expect will be late because of the holiday. So anyways, I only got three books and two back issues. Two DCs, one Marvel for the new books, and of course the Marvel 75th anniversary magazine, which was free. Actually, at my shop, uh, anybody who bought anything over 100 pesos, 100 enough would be getting it. So I actually got that gimmick. Uh, it's a really cool magazine. It's got some history on Marvel, which kind of confirms a sort of myth that's been running around for a while now, but Martin Goodman's deal with Independent News, which was DC's distributor. uh, Independent sort of limited their Marvel or Atlas or Martin Goodman's company for to have only 8 books a month, uh, which is true, but there's like this big myth about Independent um, forbidding Martin Woodman to publish any superhero books, uh, which isn't exactly true. And the fact that in 68 they started publishing more books had nothing to do with Independent realizing that, Marvel was outselling DC. In fact, I don't think it was outselling DC yet. But it was just a negotiation between Goodman and Martin Goodman, and independent. But in '68, that was 10 years after the initial deal, which was in '58. But about a little while after the renegotiation, Martin Goodman sold Marvel, and the new company just got a different distributor. So nothing to do with DC forbidding Marvel to publish any superhero stuff. In fact, they didn't really care if they were doing it, especially at that time when the deal was made. Superheroes were just starting to return. So, but it's been spread out that that DC forbid, sort of told them not to publish superhero books. That's been going around for years now, which isn't true at all. In fact, Martin Goodman, as it explained here, sort of followed what was the trend. So if superheroes were returning, he would see how long they would last before he jumped into it, because he had been burned before, when he tried to revive Captain America in the early 50s, and a few of the Human Torch, Soprano, and Captain America a few years earlier, in the early 50s, they didn't sell as well. So it's more of that than saying no, you can't publish superheroes. On the whole renegotiation thing in '68, with independence, really lasted for a very short time, because Marvel was sold to a different company. So anyway, I've been going a lot about that. Let's go to the books. So my two DC books. First up, Superman Unchained #8. Finally, one more issue to go. I have no idea how they're gonna conclude this thing. This was pretty much a slugfest between Superman and Wraith. Brutal fight, I gotta say. But I think it went a little too long. I liked how Superman actually solved in defeating Wraith, but really it wasn't very Superman-like. I guess the way he left it beneath the Earth's crust, pretty much killing him, I suppose, wasn't great. The cover, I really hate this cover. What else I can say? I mean, the art by Jim Lee is great, but there wasn't much of a story. We do learn at the very end some things, finally, after I believe 2 issues or so without Luthor. He finally shows up at the very end with Jimmy. Well, sort of Jimmy shows up, then Luthor sort of shows up in a sort of holographic message. I don't know. There's supposed to be an invasion coming, and that Wraith was pretty much the Trojan horse, with his ship having that equation that would advance human development. And so after many years, I mean decades actually, they finally decide to show up and reap the benefits. And Luthor is going to use Superman as a bomb, but stronger than what Red did back in World War II, and he's pretty much gonna kill him. I don't know. I'm just glad this thing's over. Not very Superman-like. It doesn't really fit the continuity. This isn't really the New 52 Superman. Oddfellows thought he mentioned that Superman seems to have problem breathing in space, which isn't true. It was true back in the pre-New 52, in the post-crisis, post-Infinite Crisis, where this is sort of uh, diminished Superman's powers, so he couldn't really breathe space. And if you really look at some of those early post-crisis Superman stories, um, Exile, for example, or some more recent stuff like stories from New Krypton, you actually see Superman wearing uh, a breathing apparatus to travel through space. In the New 52, he has no problem with breathing in space. In fact, Supergirl herself was surprised that she could easily, breathe in space. Uh, Way back earlier in her series. So this is really, mishmash of stuff, just a bunch of ideas thrown in for good measure, but it doesn't really fit anything that the main books uh, do. If you want like canon stuff, it's Superman, it's Action Comics, it's even Superman, Wonder Woman, it's any other book except this one. This one's just, a mess. The other Marvel book, Justice League United #1, Future's End. Uh, so this like the Aquaman issue from last week. It's part two. It's part one of a two-part story that has to deal with the fact that there's a prison break in a sort of supermax prison that they have in the Justice League uh, built um, on Mars. So there's like this break that's been orchestrated by Gorilla Grodd and Captain Atom. Apparently, he's also a major criminal in here. As you can see in the 3D stuff, we have Dunstar from the Legion. So this sort of indicates that the next arc for Justice League United, which I believe starts late October with their first annual, will involve the Legion of Superheroes. So apparently this gives a clue that maybe perhaps Dunstar stays in the 21st century, doesn't go back with the rest of the Legion. We don't know. I mean, this is really just a possible future. We get to meet the new Justice League, which includes a former member of the Others, Vostok, also is part of the Justice League, and it really mainly focuses on the Equinox. She's the main focus of the book, which makes me believe and they're really pushing this new character, putting her out there. It's written by Jeff Lemire. The art, I'm not really sure about the art. I kind of like it. It's a little bit rough around the edges, somewhat. The artist for this one, Jet Doherty. I don't know. It looks kind of, I don't know, weird at times. I don't know. It's sort of okay, but for example, the Manhunter really looks weird. For example, here, this sort of, animal man, sort of like weird looking. Same goes for the Manhunter. Early on here, let's see. Oh yeah, here. Again, this sort of looks. So I kind of, it's not my cup of tea. The art. It's okay, um, but yeah, okay, but yeah, I actually did enjoy this. I didn't like that, it's supposed to be a one shot, but as it says, but it's actually just like the Aquaman one. Like I said, this is just the first part of a two-part story. So now let's be going to my only Marvel title of the week. Give me a sec. Kind of getting a bit of a cold here. So anyway, Miss Marvel number 8. This is like, well, this is probably my third issue, as I showed, I believe, last week. I picked up issue number, was it last week? Or 2 weeks ago, I picked up issue number 1. Of course, I picked up issue number 7. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying this book. It's, you know, um, it's a new arc, but it sort of follows through from, I believe, the previous arc that they did. Um, like I said, I'm enjoying it. Some fun moments between Kamala and trying to convince her parents to let him keep Lockjaw. Um, you know, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about it. Just that it's a great book. I really like the art, the coloring. Um, but I do have a worry about this book. This is very much a modern Marvel book, so I know that this book will come to an end at some point. I get the impression so far that they're only dealing with one villain so far, and I think that this book will end when Kamala faces off against the inventor, I believe it's known. Uh, so since I believe this inventor story has been going on for a while, so at this point, not having really defeated the villain, it just feels like this book is going to end when uh, Kamala faces off against the inventor before we get a new number one or whatever they want to plans they have for her. But I'll enjoy the ride because it is a fun book. It's kind of just with an esque to me. It feels like that. Um, the way Marvel is doing books now, which is just sort of like limited runs, sort of like seasons, I guess. This does feel like that. Like I said, this is like season one with one big villain, and once he faces up against the big villain, the story ends, and we get a new number one. Uh, but but it definitely is a refreshing book, uh, and I just wish, I hope that this book lasts for a very long time, and we get Kamala facing other villains instead of just having to deal with one uh, so far. So that's that. Not two back issues. So first up, All-Star Superman number 7, which brings me to a shout out and a reminder. Uh, Sleepy Reader 666 is doing a community project in which me, along with a few other YouTubers, I think 14, well 12, well 11, uh, besides myself, 11 other YouTubers will be reviewing each issue of this series with an opening by or introduction by Sleepy Reader and Wednesday Serial. Uh, so my part, which is this issue, will be going up on October 2nd. So remember to check it out. Thank you, Sleepy Reader, for inviting me to the project. for asking me actually and inviting me to join this project. Um, I really appreciate it. And anyway, look for that video um, on October 2nd. I'll probably re-record it before and just uploaded it early on October 2nd. The other book I got, the other back issue I got is Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 8. This is issue number 27. Um, and yep, that's another issue for this run of Buffy. Um, and sorry about that. So yeah, those are the books I got this week. Um, 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 as I mentioned in before, um, I won't be doing that many videos. I'm hoping to, do more videos. I still have a couple of reviews that I haven't done yet because I've been busy, and this is what's been keeping me busy. This here is the first draft of a new short story I'm writing. So I finished that, so that sort of frees me up a little bit more because I just have to do the revisions, and that really is just half the work now. So it does free me up a bit. I mean, I do have to sort of work with 29 pages here, but I've already started on the revision, so I will have a little bit more free time to do the reviews, though they do take a little bit longer because I do have to scan covers and stuff, covers. But I'm hoping that sometime this week I will finally get to doing those reviews, which will be the last issue of Supergirl and Miss Marvel number 7, but I might probably just add Miss Marvel number 8 as well. Might not actually be an actual review though for Miss Marvel. Might actually just be a general impression thing, because I don't know, there's just so much to talk about that book that I really like. So it's been a little over 20 minutes. One more thing, shout out to Comic Hoarder 410, and his last video, which was the third part, I believe, of his Baltimore Comic Con video. He showed the Legion of Superheroes number 1 from the Mark Waid Barry Kitson run. A very underrated run, hated by a lot of Legion fans. I loved it. That's the series that got me into the Legion in the first place. I will probably show those books in an upcoming video because I really like that book, and I really want to show more books from my collection. I still have some Superman books that I have to show, but I probably do it that later and just go and show the Legion books. I'm hoping that in the next few weeks I get to do that video as well. I think that's it for now. Nothing urgent to say, nothing else to say or to announce. So I guess I'll end here saying until next time, keep smiling.